Good morning, class. Happy Friday. We got our Friday test today. We're going to divide it up into 3 sections like we did last week. Take the first section, read the story and the first 10 questions on our sheet. Take the second story, second 10, and then we want to write our essay. You're welcome to write it on your own. It might be more advantageous for you to continue to write it with me. Let's take a look at it so we can make some notes on our stories as we go. It says both articles discuss how things found in the environment are related to each other. Remember, we're working on connections this week. Use clear text evidence from these articles to explain the relationship between living things and their environments. Okay, we're just going to pick one story again. Okay, and we need 3 text evidence. So we're going to have a topic that answers the question. We're going to have my words, number 1, text evidence 1, my words number 2, text evidence 2, my words number 3, text evidence 3, and then a conclusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total sentences. So we got some notes here. We're ready to go. What are we looking for again? How these connections or relationships between living things and their environment. Okay? All right. Start with your name on your answer key. I'm going to set that to the side. Life in the forest. Forests are home to many living things. Many types of forests cover parts of the earth. One kind of forest is a deciduous forest. In these forests, leaves on trees and shrubs change color in fall and autumn. That's what's going on now here in Wisconsin. Deciduous forests are found in temperate climates with warm summers and cool winters. The mild weather in these forests help many things grow and survive. Deciduous forests have 5 different zones. Different types of living things can be found in each of these sections. The animals, plants, and other organisms in each zone have learned to survive together. Animals in these forests eat plants. There's a connection. Animals in these forests eat plants and sometimes each other. They also use trees for shelter and a source of water. Forest plants get their nutrients from the soil. Plants, my goodness, we have 3 of them already. Most plants also grow towards the sun to get light that they need. The canopy is the top layer. So this is number 1 here. He said there's going to be 5 of them. Here's the one. The top layer of the forest is home to the tallest trees. This area gets the most sunlight. It produces the most food. Birds, insects, and mammals that live here eat leaves and fruits that grow on the trees. The understory, and that's the second level. So you got these tall trees way up here, and then you got the understory. It's found below the canopy. 2 different types of trees are found in this zone: small trees and saplings. Small trees depend on the shade of the canopy to survive. Saplings are young, short trees that will eventually join the canopy. The understory is in a deciduous forest can be thick. This helps animals find food and shelter. The third zone is the shrub zone. Shrubs have many woody stems. They do not grow as tall as trees. Many birds and insects live in the shrub layer. Beneath the shrub layer is the herb zone. Ferns, grasses, wildflowers live in this zone. It is home to ground animals such as snakes, mice, turtles, bears, and deer. These animals feed on the plants and small animals found in the herb zone. And then the lowest layer, the lowest zone, is the forest floor. This layer is covered by waste material including leaves, twigs, animal droppings, dead plants, and animals. Millions of creatures such as earthworms, insects, and spiders are found on the forest floor. These creatures, along with tiny living things called bacteria, help break down the waste material. Once broken down, this material goes back into the soil. Now, this year I planted a garden in my backyard, and So in the fall, when I mow the lawn and all my garden stuff is dead now, I put all the grass clippings on there. I'm also going to rake the yard when all the trees are done falling. I'm going to put all the leaves on the garden. And you won't believe it, but next year I'll go to the garden to plant my seeds, and there's no grass clippings, and there's no leaves. Why? What happened? Well, all these little worms and bacteria broke down those grass clippings, those leaves, into soil. And so it's a way of making my soil better in my garden. Forest plants that take in nutrients from the soil. Plant-eating animals eat these plants. The animals become food of meat-eating animals. Boy, a lot of connections here. These animals become the food for meat-eating animals. New waste from these animals and plants and animals goes back into the soil, and the cycle continues. The 5 zones of the deciduous forest are connected. All life in the forest depends on the energy they get from the other living things. That might be a good topic sentence. Every living thing in the forest is equally important. Each has a role in helping the other survive. All right, so obviously it was narrative nonfiction, told like a little story, but with lots and lots of facts in it. Let's take a look at our questions for our first 10. Which best explains what this article is about? Forests are found all over the world. Did it talk about forests in Japan and forests in China and forests all over the world? I don't think so. All deciduous trees lose their leaves. Was the whole thing about them losing their leaves? Trees provide food for birds and animals. All living things in the forest are connected. All right, well, the first one I think was pretty easy, guys. We've been studying connections all week long, and so that would make it pretty fitting for that's our first answer. I'll do some with you guys, but not all of them. Number 2, read the following sentence from the article. Deciduous forests are found in temperate climates with warm summers and cool winters. The mild weather in these forests helps many things grow and survive. What does the word temperate mean in this sentence? Does it mean dry, hot, mild, or rainy? And if you reread that, it gives you the answer right in there. The context clues are right in there. Number 3, read the sentence from the article. Deciduous forests have 5 different zones. Different types of living things can be found in each of these sections. Which word means the same as zones? Is it areas, foods, rooms, or workspaces? Okay, well, obviously it's not either of those. And so now between A and C, which is your best answer? Number 4. Flip yours over. I'll flip mine over. It says, what evidence from the text best explains paragraph 4 on page 86 and what it's about? All right, so here's 86. See it at the bottom. Paragraph indent right here is paragraph 1, indent 2, indent 3, and here's what we're looking for, paragraph number 4. It happens to do with the 4th layer, the herb zone. Beneath the shrub layer is the herb zone. Furs, grasses, wildflowers live in this zone. It is home to ground animals such as snakes, mice, turtles, bears, and deer. These animals feed on the plants, animals, herb zone. The whole thing was about herb zone. Let's see if we can find that in our question. Number 4. The herb zone is home to plants and animal life. The shrub zone, animals feed on plants in the herb zone. Grasses live in the herb zone. Okay, so this talks just about animals. This talks about just grasses. So I think I'm going with the one that talks about both. And I'm going to pick F. Number 5. Read this section from the article. The animals, plants, and other organisms in the zones have learned to survive together. What does the word organisms mean in the sentence? Forest plants, living things, canopy layer, waste material. Your science background should help you with that, looking at what the word organisms mean. Number 6. Read this section from the article. Forest plants have taken in nutrients from the soil. What does the word nutrients mean in this section? Forest plants then take in nutrients. What does the word nutrients mean? Food, ground, light, soil. Well, soil would not fit there. Forest plants take in soil from the soil. Forest plants take in light from the soil. That'd be weird. Forest plants take in ground from the soil, or forest plants take in food from the soil. See how I filled it in there to see which one made sense? Number 7. Uh-oh. 86. 87. Oh, here we go. Number 7. Which of these things can be found in the shrub layer? Oh, well, I'm going back to the shrub layer. Shrub layer. Grass is grown off of snakes, mice, turtles, bears, deer, birds, snakes, turtles, mice. Which of these things can be found in the shrub layer? Number 7. Which of these things can be found in the shrub layer? Number 7. The shrub layer. There we go. Whew, I couldn't find it. The shrub layer. Shrubs may have many woody stems. They do not grow tall as many birds and insects live in the shrub layer. My goodness. I was looking at the wrong one. Then when I reread it, that was pretty easy. Number 7 has got to be A. Birds in the shrub layer. Mice and all those other things, they live in the herb layer. All right, which paragraph would best be supported by the following detail? Sunlight is very important to the canopy. Paragraph 1 on page 85. Does this talk about sunlight in the canopy? Forests are home to many living things. Many types of forests cover the earth. One kind of forest is deciduous. I'm not seeing anything about the sun. Paragraph 2 on 85. Deciduous forests have 5 different zones. Different types of living things live in each zone. The animals, organisms, survive animals. Animals in these forests eat plants. Doesn't talk about the sun until the very last sentence. Most plants will also grow towards the sun. Sunlight is very important to the canopy. Okay, so I got to find one that talks about the canopy. That would make a lot of sense. So I'm going to paragraph 1. The canopy is the top layer of the forest, home to the tallest tree. This area gets the most sunlight. It produces the most food. Birds, insects, and animals that live here eat leaves and fruits to grow on trees. All right, so that was pretty obvious. The one that talked about the canopy and the sunlight was H. Two left. Number 9. What do the understory and the shrub layers have in common? Shrub layer is right here, and understory is right here. What do they have? Small trees and saplings. Small trees depend on shade from the canopy to survive. Shrubs have woody stems. They do not grow tall, so they're both kind of shorter. Waste materials found in these zones. No, that's the bottom one. They are the tallest parts of the forest. That's the canopy. Animals live in these layers. Both layers have trees. I don't think they both have trees. One has shrubs, one has saplings. So I'm going to go with C on that one. And number 10. Read the following sentence from the article. The canopy is the top layer of the forest and is home to the tallest trees. What does canopy mean in this section? Home, forest, top, zone. Context clues will help you on that one. All right, guys, we mastered the first portion of our test. Take a break, do some exercise, get a little snack, and then come back, watch the second video for the second half of the multiple choice part.